Okay, guys, we're back. We are solving exponential equations using logarithms. All right, now our steps were to isolate the exponential part, take the log of both sides, and we're going to use natural log, and then move the exponent to the front, and then we should be able to solve for the variable, which in most of these problems is x. So let's look at example 3 and see how this is going to work. The first thing we're going to do is make sure the part that has the exponent is isolated, and it is 4 to the 2x minus 3. 4 is the only thing that has an exponent, and it is on one side of our equation. So it is isolated. So officially, step 1 is done. Okay, so now we'll move into step 2. This is where we're going to log both sides. We're going to natural log both sides. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to do natural log 4 to the 2x minus 3. I'm going to do natural log of 20. All right, so now step 3 is the big fancy step. And step 3 is where we move the exponent to the front. Now this one's a little tricky, okay, because our exponent is a parentheses, but that's okay. It's going to go to the front, and that's going to become 2x minus 3 times natural log 4 is equal to natural log 20. Okay, so now we're basically going to solve for x. And so our idea for solving for x is to have the numbers on one side and the variables on the other. Well, natural log 20, that's a number. Natural log 4, that's a number. Negative 3 is a number. So all of those are going to go to one side. And then the x will eventually divide by 2. So let's figure out how we're going to do this. For the sake of being easier, we can divide both sides by natural log 4 as our first solve step. I can divide both sides by natural log 4, and that gives me my 2x minus 3 is equal to natural log 20 over natural log 4. Now you're thinking, can I simplify that? No. No. So first thing I did was divide both sides by natural log 4. Okay, and now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So then I'll add 3 over here and add 3 over here. And so I have 2x is equal to what? I have natural log 20 over natural log 4 plus 3. And then I'm going to divide everything by 2. Got to get the x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. Okay, now this one's a little tricky. If I divide by 2, how do I divide this by 2 and make it not look so messy? Well, remember, dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2. So that might make it look a little nicer if I wrote it like this instead of divide by 2. Can I simplify it? No. You still can't simplify it. That's your exact answer there. Let me make that a little smaller so you can see your exact answer. So now my exact answer is right here. And sometimes the computer asks for the exact answer, so just be ready for it. And then my decimal approximation, I'm going to pull out my calculator and get my decimal approximation. All right. Now when I do my decimal approximation, I'm going to do my logarithms first. I'm going to call out what I'm typing in my calculator. You may have different steps in yours, but this one will work. Don't have my calculator on the screen, but I think y'all can figure this out. Okay, so I'm going to clear it, and then I'm going to do natural log of 20, close parentheses, divide by natural log of 4, close parentheses, and hit enter. And that's what I did. And then I'm going to add 3 and hit enter. And then I'm going to divide by 2 and hit enter. And I get x is approximately 2.580482, blah, 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 blah. And it just depends on what you're asked to do. If you're asked to round to the 10,000th place, that would be 4 decimals. You might be asked to round to 4 decimals. So if I were to round to 4 decimals, then it would be 2.5805. So just read your instructions. You never know what they're going to ask you to round to, so that's why I'm doing both.